All right, there's a Kenwood Bluetooth receiver. There's no CD player. I mainly just wanted it for Bluetooth in the car. Ordered some Rockford Fosgate 5 1/4 for the front, and I've got some coming for the back as well. They're 6 1/4. Block off plate there for the AC. Just kind of clean up the dash a little bit. And I'm starting right now. I bought an adapter harness for the CRX, which came with directions on what wire is what. And then the one for the actual radio here. So I'm just gonna solder all these up, throw some loom on it to make it look nice and pretty, and we'll do a little test. So here's a Greg Parts AC delete panel. This thing is super nice. I also ordered some plates to come here too, but this is beyond good quality. I'm super happy with this buy. So got the radio harness all installed here. Go and do a little slide in here. All right. I don't have any speakers hooked up anymore, but let's see here. Accessory. And there she is. All right, so here's the passenger rear bracket that gets bolted into the car. I think like so, if you're looking at it. This is not necessary, but I'm doing it just to try to get, I guess, what I can get out of this. So I went to Ace Hardware. This is just some foam here that's adhesive. I'm going to line the back of the speaker, line in here, and line on the outside of this, basically to stop any vibrations. The car already rattles as is now, so from the front speakers installed, I'm just suffering from bass loss, and it's a matter of just the car vibrating and it's just killing all those tones that are already there. Again, this is not going to solve the entire issue, but I'm just going to give it a whirl. This is cheap. I think it was like, I don't know, 17 feet for like $5. So basically it's going to act as a sound deadener. So if the speaker tries to, you know, vibrate, this will stop the vibration, along with any sound that tries to just get vibrated off or come out. This will kind of just help keep it in, I guess, essentially. So I'm going to put some of this on there, and we'll install this in the car. All right, so once you connect the wires in the back, foam's here, foam's there, a little maybe extra foam than I need, but I'm gonna kind of just place it in there. And I don't have any pre-existing holes there for it. So the speakers came with some screws, so I'm gonna take an 1/8 inch drill bit. Alright, so it's not super tight, but enough that I can kind of let go. The speaker's trying to come out a little bit because I tightened that a little bit. So I'm going to put another one. We're just going to do one there, 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 and there. Alright, so there's that one installed. Now I just kind of vacuum up in here. The other one's installed. Let's see what she sounds like. So ECU fuse is pulled. I said cylinder 1 and 2, they're both just checked out at 210 psi, and I decided just to start filming it here. So push the throttle all the way open. I'm just kind of doing 6 crankovers. What's cylinder 3? I'll post a picture up of cylinder 1 and 2. Cylinder 4 right at 210. Here's all the plugs in sequence from 1, 2, 3, and 4. Nothing was wet. Everything looks pretty good. We got about 260 miles on it right now. Alright. Alright, I have to give this guy a shout out, Matt Dubas. I think that's how you pronounce it, D-U-B-A-S. He's on the CRX community pages. I ordered some trim pieces that I was missing off the trunk. He's also where I got the EDM wing from, but nonetheless, I just want to, dude is a stand-up guy, but I mean, just look how he packaged it. Here's the trim. He taped it to a piece of wood just for sturdy so nothing would get bent. Like I mean, that's something so simple, but I'm just very happy that he actually took care of the pieces as he shipped them. All right, so here's the 310 billet hinge. What I did to offset the back of the hood was I stacked some washers. Not the best thing I wanted to do, but used to do it way back in the day, so I just applied it now. The reason for 2 of them is because these holes, and these are quite big, so the black washer sort of just acted as a washer just not to allow these white ones fall through, because they will fall through on their own. So this is basically what I just came up with stacking, and it ended up working. So just a rough measurement of what these are. 560 maybe, 559. Again, these are not the greatest calibers, but it'll do for what we're doing. So 560, we'll just say. These I didn't order originally because when I looked at them, I want to say it said it was like 7/8 or something like that, or 825, whatever. So I ordered them now, and this one is 786. This other one is 827. That's crazy, the difference. They're like 70 thousandths, give or take. So I'm going to basically get these milled down to, we'll just make that like an even 550 to match those washers. So these just get milled down to about 550 in thickness on both of them. And I'm going to put these in its place, basically to replace those washers. I'd feel much happier with a solid piece, and the Stadium Speed thing will probably have to go. Nothing against them, but I'm modifying their gear at this point, or their piece, so I'm just going to sand this down, and we'll respray them. All right, so the thermal 3-inch exhaust just came in. That's the main pipe, and there's the actual muffler pipe. This is the hardware that it came with. Now I've got nothing, I have no exhaust under the car already. I just kind of threw a little tube there just so the wideband wouldn't be so exposed to the air, just because of how close the bung was. And that's that stock header that I'm just going to be running for the time being until the turbo kit and the downpipe, etc., etc. So we're going to see how that bolts up onto the stock car and see what I can end up doing to get this thing to fit for the time being. So this is probably not necessary, but this whole pipe was like an accordion kind of. It just slid in out, and most people say it doesn't leak the way they are, so I just threw some JB Weld-like exhaust stuff over just the crack, just where the 2 tubes met. If I'm not describing it, this tube slides into this tube slid into that tube. So I just kind of put some junk over the seam. I know it's gross, but I didn't actually touch the thermal exhaust. It's just like a test pipe. So this 3-bolt flange is a 2.5. This is a 3. It does bolt up because they're slotted. And there's a gasket in there. This is just a metal on metal. It's kind of got like a big flange, so there's no gasket there. But let's see how she sounds. So here's the issue on a super cold start. First I thought it was maybe because the fast idle control valve is not there. I have an IAC. The duty's probably at 75. It kind of helps when I crank it all the way up, but this has been no gas on the gas pedal. And sometimes it will idle up at like 1500 for about literally 1 or 2 seconds, and then it'll just kind of die. But if I give it some gas, and now I just need to hold it here for approximately maybe 30 seconds, kind of just depends, and I'll let go slowly, and I'll have a little bit of a tiny surging idle from maybe anywhere from 500 to 1,000. As soon as it starts to warm up, she's good to go. So there she is right now. It's no throttle. The Honda app. Basically the coolant's at like 116. It'll kind of just do that ever so lightly, just for a little bit. Once it's about 125, 130 degrees, it seems to be okay, which made me think it was a coolant issue, a bubble in the system, and maybe it is. I just need to keep burping it. I probably burped it about 2 or 3 times, but then because I cut into the radiator, I've only burped I think maybe twice since then. All right, so I've been doing a lot of little things. Let me just, so the spacers for starters went down to like 560 or whatever they ended up fitting. I mentioned earlier I cut into the radiator. So with that thermal exhaust and that knockoff, whatever it was, DC header maybe, I could not get it to line up with the thermal exhaust. Thermal exhaust I don't think had an issue. I had to go buy new hangers. I used all the stock hangers and everything. I didn't have any of the rubber pieces. So this header that I could not get installed earlier during the build, I got it in there. I had to basically, there were stock radiator supports. I ended up having to cut the one on the passenger side off so I could lower the Skunk 2 radiator a little bit. I'm using just kind of a mount here for the moment just to hold it. And you might be able to see it, but she is close. It actually ended up touching a little bit in there. But nonetheless, I was trying to cut off that bottom bracket for the radiator. Ended up nicking into the radiator. That was an issue, but the radiator is fixed. And this bolted to the exhaust just fine. That little accordion test pipe piece, the JB Weld, I cruised around for maybe about 2 days, got on it a couple times, and I got on it as I showed you in the video, and basically that little JB Weld just didn't hold it together anymore and just kind of came apart, and it became super loud all of a sudden when I went in a second. So if she's welded, she's good to go. The only thing I need to work on, and I'm not gonna do it just yet, but the thermal exhaust, if you can see, here's the bumper. There's the exhaust. She's maybe about a, probably needs to come like another inch, maybe, half inch. If you can get a good shot there, maybe. It's not burning the bumper or anything like that, but nonetheless, it does not, it bolted right up. All the factory hangers, everything was there, so I don't know, maybe the hanger's in the wrong spot, I'm not sure. Tweak with that at a later date. Speakers all sound pretty good for what it is. CRX floor mats are installed. They fit great. Great parts I also ended up buying. I know it's really hard to see, but I ended up buying another little panel there to go there. And on the other side, they're quality 3D printed pieces. They fit great. They look great. Highly recommend him. So the compression test I did, basically every cylinder was all 210, and that was cold. And when I mean cold, I mean it had been sitting overnight 24 hours. I know you're supposed to do it warm. There's a debate, maybe it's not, it is what it is, but when it's warm, sometimes you kind of get you're gonna get a higher reading, yes. And heat expands, so stuff's just seal a little bit. So if you do it cold, like I just did, in theory, if your cold reading is good, your hot reading should definitely be good. So 210 across the board at cold, pretty happy. And I'm not gonna lie, I mean, the motor pulls, she feels real strong. I can't really say she's not burning any oil. She's only got like, I think 440 miles on her now, but as of right now, she's not, and I do check the oil. That idle situation has got to be coolant. I need to just bleed it some more. Without having a heater, if I had a heater, it'd help a lot. Basically what I've done now twice, I've just jacked the car all the way up. I've got one of those, whatever special funnels you can just attach to the radiator so it doesn't spill, the no spill funnels. I've done it twice since I cut into that radiator. When I cut into the radiator, it drained all the fluid, so I just refilled it up again. That was a couple days ago. I need to still clean it, but the cowl is on there with some rubber. I got some rubber trim for the hood from Matt Dubas again. If nobody's aware, if you got some old rubber that's just maybe not looking the greatest, this silicone Shinizu grease does beautiful wonders. I mean, I try to get as much new pieces as I can, but if there wasn't any used pieces like that, I doubt you'd be able to tell, but I mean, I need to get some more clips for it, but it looks, I mean, it honestly looks like it's an OEM brand new piece. I mean, it is OEM, but it looks brand new with that Schnitzel grease on it. So there's that. Car runs well. It's got good compression. Haven't really had any major issues. The alignment, I still got to work. The steering wheel, the alignment's great. She drives straight, but this is straight. If you can tell, the steering wheel is just cocked, still just a little bit. I've taken off, put it on. That one spline jump between moving the wheel is quite a bit. These 310 billet hood hinges are nice. They definitely add a nice little factor. And the hood hinges are, I mean, they're quite strong. No complaints there. So all in all, on the agenda, what just came in, I've got, I need to clean up a little bit still, but I ordered some more carpet. This is the carpet that I had for the car that I ordered to replace, which was great. I have the trunk area, because I'm gonna make a new trunk. I have the original cutout here and the board and the top. I've got tons of wood over there. This is for the back. I'm going to basically trace it, cut it out of wood, and get some brand new matching black carpet that's in the rest of the car. And then I ordered just another, I don't know what it was. They ordered this something like a 25 feet or whatever the dimension of it was some extra. So if anything, I may, I don't know, we'll see, maybe build a new one of these. This little back area. So I've got those. And I got my DLA fogs in. I think I showed you in the last video. I got a couple different switches. I don't know what I'm gonna do yet, but I'm gonna do one of the switches. I got two different fog light switches, basically. One that's the same one in my Tacoma, which looks nice. But when it just came in, I realized it's real long, so I may not be able to put it in the dash. We'll find out. Weird quirk, the car did turn off on me. I was just kind of cruising down the road, just lost all power except for the radio. A quick just turn the key off, turn the key back on, and we were good. Maybe a bad ignition switch. I don't know, the car is old, but it hasn't happened again, so we'll play that by ear and see how that goes. All right, so maybe some input. There's nothing really terribly wrong with the seats. There's your minor wear and tear on it, but I would like to probably replace the seats. The car is not a full-blown race car. The car is not a show car. I drive the car. The tire letters would show it at certain times. They are a pain in the ass. They get super dirty. Of course, it's white. I expected that, but this is not a car that just sits in a garage. But it's also not a car that I'm daily driving every day. It has no heat, no AC. So in Florida right now, it gets pretty hot. So on the nice cool days or cooler days, wintertime I'll probably drive it even more. But nonetheless, I know some people say that racing seats, bucket seats shouldn't be reclinable. I'm not saying I disagree with you, but at the moment I'm thinking of some black, I don't know, some black reclinable Sparcos, Recaros. I don't really know exactly the brand yet. I've glanced at some, and putting like an auto power 4-point roll bar in it so I can put harnesses on it. I'm not gonna lie to you, it is somewhat for looks. I did just find out there's an autocross not too far from here, so I would love to take the car out there for it. I'd love to throw it on a drag strip, but I'm not throwing it on an 1/8 mile track. But nonetheless, to button up the rest of the interior, those two pieces I need to make, and then maybe some kind of, I say reclinable seats, because I still am going to drive the car around the road, or maybe, you know, here and there, wherever, and I'd just like a little bit of comfort if I can. And then some matching harnesses. I don't know. I guess if that's something, throw some in the comments. I've just been debating back and forth on that. Besides those, then I got to figure out the turbo kit here. As of right now, I'm thinking like the GT30 range. Power goals, if you follow this from the beginning, have went from low to high to, I don't know, I'm trying a little bit. I think I'm really settling on somewhere between like 350 and 4, which I get it. Some may say the motor's built to maybe do a little bit more than that, or should be able to do a little more than that. I don't know, I think 350 and 4 in this will be very fun, streetable. And if anything, if the motor's overbuilt, we'll just say it's overbuilt and it can just handle more for way down the road if I ever going to get crazy, or get crazier maybe, or it'll just be a little bit more just hopefully bulletproof. And then again, after all this is done, I don't know what I'm doing with it. I have no fucking idea, but I still have this that I've not taken apart. I've just kind of covered it in WD-40 and I've got a head. That's an old video, so we'll worry about that when the time comes. So I'm thinking maybe GT30 range for a turbo, auto power 4-point bar. I don't know what kind of reclinable seats yet with harnesses, a 4 or 5 point. Carpets need to get done. greatly appreciate everybody for watching so far. If anybody does, again, have any comments, concerns, anything you've seen, done, not sure, or just something that maybe I missed, throw it in there, let me know. I will post some random photos that I've taken of the car on my Instagram. If you're trying to see it, it's just my name, Justin Goodell. So while I'm not posting for 4 weeks, I might throw a photo up once a week or whatever the case is. I don't know. We'll see how many photos I totally end up having and how many I'll post. I've already posted some up there in case no one's seen it. Put quite a few in the CRX community Facebook page. Sorry. Just super sad to have her driving again. So like this morning, I woke up early before the sun got out and I went and took a couple photos. There are definitely some things. Oh, what I didn't add in before I let everything go, I did go talk to the body shop about those couple spots, and he had no problem with taking him in. Said the car would probably be done 2 to 3 days, but yeah, that's still on the agenda, so we're cool. Paint's under warranty as far as that's concerned, so he will address that when I go take it to him, whatever that may be. And yeah, so again, thanks everyone for watching. I really hope someone's continuing their build just from watching this or giving them motivation, because mine's not done. She's still got a bit to go here, but yeah, it's all right. So hope everyone's having a good Memorial Day weekend, and I'll see you guys when I come back.